I intend to cover in this research topic. I have the introduction, the research purpose, the literature review, methodology, and conclusion. From the introduction, it says that data warehousing is gaining in eminence as organizations become aware of the benefits. Data quality is critical to data warehouse because more reliable decisions come from using the right data quality. Yeah, we all know that most of these decisions made by companies are so critical that the data quality has to be very high. And in recent years, corporate scandals, regulatory changes, and the collapse of major financial institutions have brought much warranted attention to the quality of enterprise information. Because of these issues, people have been, going back and reflecting on what could be the cause of these issues. Because since for a data warehouse, data are generated from different resources, and if care is not taken while handling this integration, there could be a problem which could result in poor decision making. Most enterprise wants to make a better decisions from their competitors. So I believe poor quality data, if not identified and corrected early on, can cause poor decisions, which can have a negative impact on companies' operation. Analyzing the issues is important to determine where our efforts should be focused. So then, the purpose of this paper is to analyze the data quality problems in data warehousing from the extensive literature review of previous research work, and to give us some classifications on the causes of this at all the stages of data warehousing. So this research is based on literature review of previous research work that have been done on data quality problems in data warehousing. So I'll be talking about data warehousing. Data warehouse as defined by William H. Hillman. A data warehouse as a collection of integrated, subject-oriented, non-volatile, and time-variant databases, where each unit of data is specific to some period of time. Subject-oriented is more or less like it gives you information about a company's ongoing operations. And when we're talking about integration, it means that the data is integrated from different sources. Time variant defined means it's defined within a particular period of time, and non-volatile means that it means stable. And data warehouse is also a collection of technologies aimed at enabling the knowledge worker like executive, manager, analyst, and so on to make better and faster decisions. Like I said earlier, most companies want to make a better decision, especially in the marketplace. People want to make a better decisions than their competitors because it gives them quick and easy access to information, and they can generate reports from it and know, okay, fine, this is the kind of like historical report from it, and that would help them in the current or in the future work. So data warehouses as defined by Amon in 1996 also said that data warehouses can contain detailed data, lightly summarized data, and highly summarized data, all formatted for analysis and decision support. One of the main things that has to do with data warehousing is that it supports decision making process. It gives organizations the ability to make productive decisions that will help the organization in terms of growth and in all other aspects of the company's operation. And this is the data warehouse environment. We have the customer relationship management. It's kind of like a database, and the billing and the ERP and the flights. Data are generated from these sources using the ETL tools. And ETL tools are used in data warehousing to extract data, transform data, and load data into data warehouse. It could be from all of these sources, and it could be from all other sources. There are so many places that this data can come from that can then be extracted, transformed, and load into a data warehouse. When I'm talking about these ETL tools, they are used to copy data from operation applications to the data warehouse or staging. They are used to copy data from operations, like for example in these diagrams that I have here. Data have been generated, have been copied from CRM, billing, ERP, flight files using ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. When we're talking about extract data, transform values of inconsistent data, cleanses bad data, filter data, and loads them into a target database. So it transforms, it extracts data from all these operational applications. It extracts data from all these applications right here and loads all this data after transforming it and loads it into data warehouse. When we're talking about the extract part of ETL, it means that you're gathering information from multiple heterogeneous sources, which involves cleaning and finding and correcting the errors in the data. And the data transformation part involves converting data from the legacy format to a format that can be used when transforming this data. It involves sorting, summarizing, and as far as the loading part is concerned, this is where you check for integrity. So once all these data are being extracted from these operational applications or the OLAP systems, online analytical processing, once this data are being extracted, they are being transformed and loaded into a data warehouse where it can be used to generate reports, analysis that can be used to support companies' operations. So this is kind of like an overview of data warehouse environment. There's so many things right here that are being done so that informations can be extracted, transformed, and loaded into a data warehouse for reporting, analysis, and so on. So it is used to copy data from operational applications to the data warehouse or staging. And it's extract data from here, it transform them and load them into a data warehouse for reporting, analytics, for generating reports. And so let's talk about data quality itself. When we're talking about data quality in terms of accuracy, it means that the data was recorded correctly. It's just as it is. No errors. It is free from errors. There's no misspell. There's no it's correctly. Like when you're writing something, or probably you're using a name of someone, probably you want to enter a customer's name and the customer name is John. It means you write the correct spellings of the names. So, and when we are talking about completeness, we are talking about the fact that all relevant data was recorded, not the irrelevant data, but the relevant data are recorded. Uniqueness. When you're talking about in terms of uniqueness, it has to be recorded once, and the timeliness, the data is kept up to date as time goes on, as the informations keep changing, it's you as you're recording the transactions of your customers, you're changing it in your database. The data is kept up to date. That is just like an example though. And we're talking about consistency. The data agrees with itself. So this is just a conventional definition of data quality. Data quality are more or less like data that are free from errors. They're just as it is. Just as it is. Yeah, there are so many examples of data quality problems in that we have. Data quality problems cost hundreds of $billions each year. It costs hundreds of $billions each. A retail company found over 1 million records contain home telephone number 00 and addresses containing flight numbers. Healthcare company found 9 different values in gender field. And a car rental company discovered duplicate agreement numbers in their European data warehouse. So these are more or less like some examples of data quality problems that we have. The study, like I said earlier on in this video, is designed as a literature review of previous research work on data quality problems in data warehousing. So this literature review, these are some of the literature reviews that previous work that have been done on data quality problems in data warehousing. John Hess, 1998, highlighted the importance of handling of missing values of the data sources, especially emphasized on missing dimension attribute values. And Amit Rudra and Emily June, 1999, concluded that the quality of data in a data warehouse could be influenced by factors like data not fully captured, heterogeneous system integration, and lack of policy and planning from management. And Scott W. Hambler, 2001, the article explored the wide variety of problems with the legacy data, including data quality, data design, data architecture, and political process related issues. The article has provided a bifurcation of common issues of legacy data that contribute to the data quality problem. When Ekesin 2004 says data warehousing project glows all the important steps of scrutinizing source data before designing data models and ETL mapping. And also, the paper presented the reasons for data quality problems, out of which most important were manual profiling. Manual profiling, discovering of errors too late, unreliable metadata. When we're talking about metadata, it's more or less like data about data, and lack of selection of automated profiling tools. And from all this literature reviewed and all these previous works that have been done on data quality issues and data warehousing, there are some classifications on causes of data quality issues at different levels of data warehousing, because we have different levels as regards to data warehousing. So first, we will look at the data quality issues at data sources, which is quite important. So we'll look at the data quality issues at data sources. One of it is contradictory information present in data sources, because it has to do with information that doesn't correlate. and sources which do not comply to business rules. I believe most companies have their own business rules. I mean, when you're trying to design a database, there are so many business rules, there are so many things you have to take into consideration before coming up with your entity relationship diagrams, before implementing it using SQL Server or any other form of database that you intend to use. If these sources does not comply to business rules, this would create a big problem when gathering data from all of these sources. It's going to result in poor data. Having inconsistent or incorrect data formatting. What this means is that when you're having an inconsistent or data formatting, for example, when you have a name of a person, for example, a name of a person is stored in a table in the format first name, last name. Like when you have a name of your customer stored in a table as first name, last name, and in another table you have it stored as last name, first name. For example, you have a customer that his name is John Mike. John is his first name and Mark is his last name. And in a table that you have his name stored as John Mike. And in another table you have his last name first before the first name, which is Mike John. That is more or less like an example of incorrect data formatting, which would cause a problem in terms of data quality. When you have missing columns and different data types for similar columns, this is also a great issue. For example, when you need a middle name of a person but a column for it doesn't exist, that's a very big problem. Or probably you have a situation whereby the names you have, your customer names, are quite similar, and you need a middle name in order to differentiate between this customer, in order to differentiate those two customers from each other. And you need a middle name, but once these columns for middle name is missing, then that's a very big problem. The next one is missing values in data sources. Various key strategies for the same type of entity. This is quite one of the. Enter the details for your customer. When you use the first key has probably the social security number, and then you use that for that same customer, you use the client ID for the same customer's key in another table. That's a very big issue. So these are some of the causes of data quality issues at data sources. And what I mean in terms of data sources being collected from these sources, if not entered correctly, if all these informations are missing, like the missing columns and all other informations are not in place, this could result into a very big issue. And so these are some of the causes of data quality problems at this level. So the next one we'll be talking about is data quality issues at data profiling. When we're talking about data profiling, it's more or less like the process of examining data available from an existing information source, which could be your database, it could be your files, and collecting statistics or information, including whether the data conforms to particular to particular fields. And also, so this is more or less at this stage, data profiling is more or less like you're examining, you're assessing. At this level, you're more or less examining the data available from an existing information source. Some of the data quality issues at the data profiling set. One of it is insufficient data profiling of data sources. 2. Undocumented alterations identified during profiling. Because what profiling does is to examine these data that are being generated from different sources, and if while doing this and there is probably an error with it, and if it's not well documented, this could cause a big issue as regards to data quality. And the next one is lack of identification of missing data relationships. User-generated SQL queries for the data profiling purpose. Inability of evaluation of data structure, data values, and data relationships before data integrations. All of these need to be evaluated before data integration. And if this is not done, it could pose a very big issue in terms of the kind of data quality that you get. All of these are some of the issues associated with data profiling in terms of data quality problems. So the next one is the data quality issues at data staging and ETL phase. So when we're talking about staging, this is where the data cleaning process is done. The data cleaning process is executed in the data staging in order to improve the accuracy of data. It is a place where all grooming is done in data after it is called from the source systems. It's also a temporary. The staging area is a temporary location where data from source systems is copied for timing reasons. Like I said earlier, it's where the data cleaning process is executed to improve the accuracy of the data. And earlier in this video, I talked about the ETL tools that we have. I talked about in data warehousing to extract, transform, and load data into the data warehouse. Well, there are different tools that can be used for extracting, transforming, and loading data into warehouse. We have the open source ETL tools, which are the Jasper and the Talent. And we also have the Informatica Power Center, the Abnicius. We have Abnicius tools. There are some of the ETL tools that we have that can be used. Also, the following are some of the causes of data quality problems that we have at data staging and ETL phase. The first one is when you have different business rules of various data sources. Different business rules, each data has its own business rules. Each data from different source systems has its own business rules. Truncating in database means when you're deleting a whole database at once. Truncating the data staging area. Like I said earlier, data staging is a temporary location where data from source systems is copied for timing reasons. So, truncating the data staging area when you're having an improper extraction of data to the inquired fields, that's a big problem. Unhandled node values in ETL process cost data. Lack of considering business rules by the transformation logic. Loss of data during the ETL process. Poor system conversions, migrations, re-engineering or consolidation contribute to data quality problem. All this contributes to data quality issues at data staging and ETL phase. So the next one we have is the data quality problems at data warehouse schema design. When we're talking about data warehouse schema design of the data warehouse influences the quality of the analysis that is possible with data in it. And what data warehouse architecture consists of dimensions and facts. When we're talking about the data warehouse architecture, it consists of dimensions and facts. The dimensions are kind of like they're in form of text. It could be your customer name and so many other things. And the fact has to do with numeric values. This could be the sales amount of your customer, the quantity, and all that. So data warehouse consists of dimensions and facts. And also, when we are talking about schema, data warehouse has two schemas that can be used for creating relationship between facts and dimensions. And we have the star, and we have the star, which is most commonly used, and the snowflake. Yes, we have the snowflake schema, which is like it's kind of slower. So the star is the most commonly used. So the first one we have here is one of the causes of the problems associated with data quality problems at data warehouse schema design is incomplete or wrong requirement analysis of the project leads to poor schema design. Lack of currency in business rules cause poor requirement analysis, which leads to poor schema design. Choice of dimensional modeling. Like I said earlier, these two are used for creating relationship between facts and dimensions. And when we're talking about facts and dimensions in data warehouse, they are more or less like the architecture of data warehouse. And we have the architecture of the data warehouse, which is the facts and dimension. And I won't go into those details now, but we sure do have those. Late arriving dimensions. Factoring cause data quality problem. Lack of sufficient validation and integrity rules in schema. So these are more or less like the possible causes of data quality problems at data warehouse schema design level. So those are all the classifications of causes of data warehouse at each level of at each stage of data warehouse. And when we're talking about data, this is a kind of like a data quality process. The data should go through all this process to achieve a good data quality. And conclusion, this paper has stressed how the possible causes of data quality problems at every stage of data warehousing from previous research work and literature review. And the most common causes that are as follow: data never fully captured. Learning from the management. Yeah. You have to have your business rules, like I said. You just have to have it, and it has to be, you have to be sure that these business rules and the data that you have conform to these business rules. Heterogeneous system integration. Yes, we all know that all this data are being integrated from different sources. They are being extracted from different sources. So care needs to be taken when integrating or merging this data, so as not to, affect the decisions or the reports that will be generated from all this data that are being integrated from all these source systems. So I believe that understanding the underlying causes of data quality problems will help developers and data warehouse provide mitigation plans and possible solutions to address these issues. Thank you for watching this video. Like I said, this video is based on literature review of previous research work that have been done on data quality issues and data warehousing. Thank you.